Welcome back. It's been a minute since I've kind of been on camera talking about things, talking about wildlife. Yeah. But as of this year so far, I would say is that I've been learning a lot. And one of those things I've been learning within this particular wildlife space is really focusing on persistence. Like that has been the key thing that I have been really just, honed in on as far as like trying to maintain or be steady within the particular genre of photography and videography. So really just understand like how you want to approach your day is something that I'm truly learning, and being subjected to an object that or an animal that I'm going to be videoing and photographing is, there's some instability there. It's definitely unpredictable at times. So within that, you have to just be ready to shoot at all times. So those are the things that I would say, at least for me, that's kind of like show me the reasoning for persistence. Along with that, I would say is that there's going to be times to where you're not able to, capture those moments of that particular wildlife animal that you're specifically going out there to shoot. They may not be available that day. They may have just said, long night, I'm tired, I'm going to stay in. I'm going to Netflix and not chill. It's not necessarily season, so I can't really say it's chill, I guess, but whatever, it is what it is. So whenever you have those instances, I think lately I've experienced that, I think twice over the past, week or two, to where I go out to this area, for instance, an Osprey. I wanted to go out to this Osprey nest and to see, how everyone is, flourishing, but I wanted to go back out there, and they're typically out there, hunting, going about their day, fighting off crows, fighting off all types of birds and whatnot, just to get a fish. But in this particular situation, I would say is that there were no ospreys outside. There were not nowhere to be found, except for the one that I found that temporarily stayed in the position that I wanted it to be. It stayed in this position, for a brief moment, to where it was on this rusted metal pole that was a part of the construction of this abandoned building. I tried to set everything up to get it going. I was able to get a few shots of it, but it ended up flying away. It looked at me and said, "Deuces, I'm out." And yeah, that hurt. That hurt a lot. So I struck out there. So I said, let me go see if I can find the Killdeer. The Killdeer has been a bird that I've posted on this channel. They have been available for me to be able to, shoot at. No, that doesn't sound right. They have been available for me to, film and to photograph. And yeah, they weren't out there either too. So I struck out twice that day. So I would say is that, you have to put things in perspective and understand is that, wildlife is wildlife, and you can't just think that, things are going to wait around for you because they're on your time. So, obviously, I understand that, but, sometimes out of frustration, yeah, you think those things, you think those thoughts to where you're just like, why? A couple days later, I went out to this lake area. I think it was Lake Greenwood. And essentially, I was hearing the red-shouldered hawk. I had the intention of getting the red-shouldered hawk as far as photos and video when I went out there, captured some moments of that. And I kept hearing it everywhere. It was making this noise, making this calling sounds everywhere, but I never got any visibility of it. And yeah, it that hurt too. So struck out 3, but contingency, because that's always important whenever you're doing wildlife, is that you have to be prepared to be able to pivot in those situations. So what I was able to do that day earlier on, I was able to get some footage of the white ibis. White ibis are everywhere. Different groups are affiliated with different areas that, like being around people. Some don't, they just fly away. Some do, and you can get close to them, or they have no problem getting close to you. typically I don't get close to, wildlife. I let them, come my way. And if they come my way too close, then I'm going to remove myself from that situation or slowly back away, because I don't want to impede on any type of interaction they have with the current, environment that they're in. I don't want to throw anything off essentially within everything. So, but yeah, I got the white ibis, which was great. I was satisfied with that. And also too, I was able to get some sand cranes that day too. Or I think I got them a couple days later. I can't remember. My days are, merging or flowing in together and stuff, but I got some sand cranes and it was a pretty cool experience. And that's all I could get. And that's okay. I was content with what I could get captured, because over the course of the year, I've just learned is that stuff just not going to be there at times. As frank as I can put it, it's just not going to happen. Wildlife be wildlife at the end of the day. So yeah. Decks right there coming up. I like the calmness of the water right now. Hearing the red-shouldered hawk make its noise this morning, I can tell that it's kind of like made this whole particular area or this particular proximity, it's like territory, as far as like when it's hunting other birds. Like, there's bluebirds, there's woodpeckers over here, and I've seen them kind of like disperse, where they're not as out as frequent as they used to be. And it's pretty interesting to see how all the other birds just kind of like, laying low, taking cover right now, not trying to be seen by the red-shouldered hawk. I believe there's two of them over here. I kind of get the red-shouldered hawk mixed up with the Cooper's hawk, but a lot of times how I'm able to tell that it's a juvenile red-shouldered hawk is like when it stands up, you can kind of see the I want to say, and it's plumage. I believe it's called plumage, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, plumage. Sorry, or plumage, I guess in a sense. But yeah, just kind of seeing its plumage, you can kind of tell that it has like this orange to like this orangey rusted type of color. Right below its legs areas and stuff. So it's one of the common hawks that I get mixed up a lot of times, but for the most part though, it's astonishing to be able to see these beautiful creatures just kind of like swoon in the area. And it's interesting because I've been able to get up close to it, or it's been able to get close up to me several times, I would say, over the past, few days. Just really taking in really how they just kind of like go from tree to tree to branch to just kind of see and just really scope out the area and see what they can just lock in on and really capture and stuff. So I think it's been pretty dope so far. But like I said before, this has been really just a unique experience to be able to be kind of like close to these particular types of creatures and stuff. So, but yeah, cool. Actually, there is one right behind me. It's a bird behind me. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. A few days later, I was just out randomly, just like, let me just see what's outside. Just kind of go forward from there. Not going to set my expectations too high. We'll just see what we capture at this point in time, because I done struck out 3 times already. I might as well just have some type of, steady hope. I don't know if you want to call it that, but yeah, some steadiness in regards to my expectations. So needless to say, when I went outside, what did I find? I found a red shoulder hawk, not one, but two. I found a male red shoulder hawk. I was able to find a female red shoulder hawk. It was just a cool experience to be able to capture them interacting with the environment and really just see their behaviors and how they just kind of just observe things. And yeah, no, for myself, I just felt like it was just a really just cool experience to be able to finally capture a hawk, because the other hawks, the ospreys, they're nowhere to be found, and they typically hang around the area too. You already know, as always, continually appreciate the process. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Deuces. We out. Yes, sir. All right, cool.